Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The situation is worsening for the Ukrainians. That's been happening despite their so-called counteroffensive, which I think is already dead. It's been dead, I think, in the first. It has been decided, I think, in the first 2 weeks. It was clear that the surprise effect of a counteroffensive was dead, as I always say, in the water flowing downstream. So I have here an update of the front. Unbelievably, both sides, the Ukrainians and the Russians, were at work today. None of them called in sick. So I can use both. I'm like Bernie Sanders now. I can use both sides, so we'll be lied by both instead of only one side. Usually the Ukrainians are at work more than the Russians. And I have a few maps, actually one map, and some updates. I just made it I made a video a minute ago regarding Kupiansk, where I discussed a report coming from the Russians that the Ukrainians face encirclement in Kupiansk in Kharkiv Oblast or Kharkov Oblast. So let's go with I'm gonna have one article coming from a Ukrainian media outlet. It's going to be a general overview of the today as an update. Then I will go to the axis by axis or front by front and parallel with the Russians, and we'll see how we're doing. I think today represents a turning point in the war in Ukraine. That's my assessment, and you're going to see why. Or at least I make the point. You obviously make your own decision, whatever you see here or somewhere else. Ukraine form. General Staff, Defense Forces holding back Russian offensive in two directions. Remember, keywords, holding back Russian offensive. So the Russians are in an offensive, not the Ukrainians. The Defense Forces of Ukraine are holding back the advance of Russian troops in the Avdiivka and Marinka direction. Nothing about Kupiansk, nothing. Overall, 25 combat clashes have been recorded on the front today. So where is Marinka, where is Avdiivka? Here, this is Ukraine. Obviously, Marinka and Avdiivka, they are right here in these parts. Avdiivka is right here, Marinka is right here. So according to Ukrainians, the Russians are pushing right here. Well, according to the Russians are succeeding right here. This is Kupiansk. This is where the Ukrainians get in trouble. They ordered a mandatory evacuation in this area, Kupiansk, and if Kupiansk falls, it's open. The road is open for Kharkiv or Kharkov. Supposedly, in that article that I used, which is this, Kupiansk clashes, Ukraine forces face encirclement amid Russian advance. This is from today, the August 11th, 2023. In this article, they talk about the significance of Kupiansk front. If this falls, supposedly the whole thing is going to collapse, or at least the Russians have free reign to go towards Kharkiv, and then you can only imagine what does that mean. And if they, as Ukrainians right now, they say that, oh my God, in Avdiivka and Marinka directions, the Russians are active. That means they're active here too. So this front is going to collapse. It's all over. So let's go back here. In the Melitopol and Berdyansk directions, this is where the Ukrainian counteroffensive supposedly has its last jerks or spasms. The Ukrainian defenders continue to conduct an offensive operation, getting entrenched in the regained positions and engaging in counter-battery fire. So let me show you where the Melitopol-Berdyansk direction is, right here. This is Zaporozhye, this is Melitopol, this is Berdyansk. So they try to cut here, they try to cut here. So this area right here, which not really doing anything. You see here, these guys updated their little shed here. 11th of, I was about to say October, Jesus Christ, August 2023, which gonna use this map with all the bullets here later in this video. Now let's go back to the general assessment coming from the Ukrainians. Throughout the day, the Air Force of the Defense Forces launched a strike on the area where the enemy's personnel blah 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 blah. For that their part, units of the Ukrainian missile forces and artillery hit an enemy Strela anti-aircraft missile system. Also, the defense forces destroyed 4 enemy reconnaissance drones of operational tactical level. Throughout the day, Russian army launched 5 missile strikes against Ukraine using 4 Kh-47 Kinzhal air ballistic missiles and 1 S-300 missile. I covered this attack on Kiev and this oblast. Let me show you. On this oblast right here, Ivano-Frankovsk, where the Russians attacked a airfield to destroy the capability of the future F-16s that will never be delivered. So they attacked this and Kiev. I covered that in a video earlier today. Go and watch it. So I'm not gonna stick on that one. Also, the enemy carried out 24 airstrikes and about 37 MLRS attacks on the positions of defense of the populated areas. Of course, only people and civilians, obviously, and civilian targets, no military. All right, let's see. In Avdiivka direction. Now they go in Avdiivka and then Marinka, the ones that I already showed. They're going to talk about this area right here. Pam, pam, pam. Avdiivka, Marinka. Ram, pam, pam. Avdiivka, Marinka. These two. In the Avdiivka direction, under heavy fire from the enemy's aircraft and artillery, the defense forces continue to hold back the advance of Russian troops in the area of Avdiivka in Donetsk region. The invaders hit more than 10 settlements. And then we go here in Marinka directions. Ukrainian defenders continue to hold back the advance of Russian troops in the area of Marinka in Donetsk region. More than 10 settlements came under enemy artillery attacks. Alright, so it says here, as reported by Ukrinform, 1 of the 4 enemy Kh-47 hypersonic missiles were shot down in the key sky of Ukraine on August 11. But none of the 4 articles that I used for this mentioned any system who was capable of doing that. Remember in the past, oh, Patriot systems destroyed 1. Oh, Patriot systems destroyed 6. And the Russians said, we didn't launch 6. How in the fuck you down 6? And now nothing. They didn't mention one time the word Patriot systems, air defense systems, Patriot systems, downing that. I wonder why. Maybe someone is lying. All right, let's move on to the next article. Now, this is Ukrainska Prava. This is their update. All right, and this is the Ukraine update, and this is the Russian update with all these bullets representing these colors representing different actions. The blue ones are the Ukrainian shelling the Russian positions. The yellow bullets are where the Russians say that they downed drones, Ukrainian drones, helicopters and fighter jets. The black stuff here is face-to-face, troops. And the red ones is where the Russians supposedly shell Ukrainian positions. I need some air. Okay, let's go to the Ukrainians. Russia launches 24 airstrikes and 5 missile strikes on 11 August. We already spoke about all this, so I'm gonna go to Kupiansk. Okay, Kupiansk, as we said, is right here, where the shit hit the fan. So everything is dispersing now. As for the hottest front, that the other guys did not mention, the Kupiansk front, the General Staff reported that the Russians had conducted unsuccessful offensive actions in the area of Sinkivka and Ivanivka in Kharkiv Oblast. So unsuccessful that you ordered a general, retreat, whatever, it comes mobilization, but not mobilization, and then we have this right here, Kupiansk, Ukraine forces face encirclement amid Russian attacks. So they want to evacuation, it's how it's called, Jesus Christ. See, on Thursday, Ukrainian authorities announced the mandatory evacuation of the Kupiansk district. I covered that coming from the Ukrainians, not from the Russians, including the town and over 50 surrounding villages. The Ukrainians said 37, these guys say 50. Well, we don't care. Let's move on, 50 or 37, the same shit. On the Bakhmut front, now we go Bakhmut and then Shaktarsk front. These are north of Avdiivka and Marinka, right here. Shaktarsk actually is not there. Shaktarsk is in this area, And Bakhmut is here with Artemovsk. Where are you, baby doll? Right here. Artemovsk. So let's see what the Ukrainians are telling us about. On the Bakhmut front, the Russians conducted unsuccessful offensive again. Actions in the area of Bohdanivka, Klichkivka and Bilahora. Those are here. Let's see what the Russians are saying. All right. Artemovsk, Bilahora, Shasir Yar. Let's see what they say here. Russian air defense shot down a Ukrainian drone. Not much. Alright, what's this? The EU battle group successfully repelled all attacks by Ukrainian assault units using air and artillery strikes. Kind of like far. You should be here probably. And Toretsk, Russian forces destroyed an ammunition depot of Ukraine's 24th Mechanized Brigade. So, let's see what the Russians say about Kupiansk, shall we? The Zapad battle group successfully repelled an attack by units of Ukraine's 41st Mechanized Brigade. So these guys are attacking. Assault units of the Zapad battle group continued their offensive and improved their tactical positions. And the same, they did the offensive and improved the tactical position. So they advanced on this area. And here, let's see what they shot down. A Ukrainian drone. Here, the Zapad battle group successfully repelled an attack by units of the Ukraine's 32nd Mechanized Brigade. Okay, if you say, guys. Here is, let's see how many drones the Russians claim they downed. Alright, they shot down what? 2 Ukrainian drones approaching the city. And then we got in Belgorod, we got shot down an aircraft type drone over the city. And then shot down a Ukrainian drone near the city, right here. Another Ukrainian drone. There were no casualties. So, we're going to move south. Again, drones here. I'm curious if they're going to say drones, no aircraft, drone. No, this is, I pushed the wrong one. No, it's wrong, because this should be, yeah. Anyway, there's no, let's go to Zaporozhye Oblast, actually to Shaktarsk, by the Ukrainians, right here, the Shaktarsk front. Russian forces made unsuccessful attempts to regain lost positions near Urozaine, Donetsk Oblast. So that is in this area here. Urozaine. See Urozaine? And here's Ukhledar or Vukhledar. It depends you speak Russian or Ukrainian. The Vostok battle group successfully repelled an attack by assault units of Ukraine's 38th Marine Brigade and units of Vostok battle group supported by aviation and artillery foiled an attempt by Ukrainian troops to conduct combat reconnaissance. Okay, and here is the dead Ukrainian counteroffensive in Zaporozhye Oblast, and here is the Kherson Oblast. Again, supposedly they want to cross this Dnieper River, but nothing. So let's go and see what the Ukrainians are saying. Ukraine rocket forces and artillery destroyed 1 Russian Strela. Okay, you told us that before. Here, nothing. They don't go over there. So there's no Kherson, no Kherson. So they don't tell us anything about that. But then if you don't tell me anything about the Kherson, maybe they tell me, the Russians. So this is shelling the cities and villages. Ukrainian forces fired 19 shells at the settlements using cannon artillery. And then Ukrainian forces shelled again. That's a wrong one because it should be a dawned nothing. So this is just shelling by the Ukrainians according to the Russians. And let's go to Zaporozhye. We didn't cover that one. Let's see here. Hey, hello, baby doll. You're not cooperating today? Okay. Russian forces destroyed a temporary deployment point of a foreign mercenary unit right there. And here, Russian forces destroyed an ammunition depot of Ukraine's 108th Territorial Defense Brigade. Russian air defenses shot down a Ukrainian drone, probably this one right here, correct? And this right here, Yevgeny Balitsky, the acting governor of the Zaporozhye region, said that Ukrainian forces attempted a tank breakthrough near the village this morning, but lost some of their military equipment and retreated. And this is the units of the Russian battle group successfully repelled an attack by assault units of the Ukrainian 21st Mechanized Brigade using air and artillery strikes. Evgeny Bararap, this is the same thing they said in the other one with Evgeny. So, my friends, this is the situation here. They didn't mention Kiev attack, the Russians, they didn't mention Ivano-Frankovsk attack. But anyway, I mention it because I know about it because they, the weasels, told us. So here is, my friends, I think that we are at a turning point, like a breakthrough in this stalemate that is right there. And I think the breakthrough will finally be in Kupiansk or Kharkov Oblast, and see when that breaks through. The Ukrainians might have to bring from Bakhmut, Avdiivka and Marinka up, and maybe the whole front is going to collapse. I'm talking about this front right here, the Eastern Front. Pam, pam, pam. Okay, now that we know it, we can go and drink some wine. Cheers. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See you later.